I recently had the pleasure to sit in conversation with Serré, who is joyfully working as a guide this incarnation to help people discover, embrace, and proudly proclaim themselves before the world, but most importantly, to themselves. She is a 3 times attuned Reiki master, certified chakra and crystal healer, a light language and soul song channeler, fully certified quantum human design reader, quantum alignment practitioner, and a tarot reader, specializing in self-development, awareness, and spirit guide or ancestral contact and channeling. Serré believes in showing people how beautiful, majestic, and awesome the natural you is, while helping you separate from your trauma and conditioning that's been placed upon you and your true self. And Serré recently gave me a quantum human design reading, which is considered a blueprint for your life. I can tell you that this woman is an intuitive force to be respected and listened to closely. If you haven't heard of quantum human design, you are in for a treat, as Serré goes deep on the 5 personality types. She interprets my chart a bit and gives you a taste of how powerful this system is when combined with intuitive channeling that she does in session. I do hope that you enjoy this episode of the Conscious Evolution Podcast. It's time to upgrade your life. Welcome to the Conscious Evolution Podcast. I'm Dr. Andrea Pennington, Chief Psychedelic Officer for Innate Vitality. In this podcast and our live events and retreats, we explore ways to hack enlightenment by integrating ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience with transpersonal psychology. From plant medicine and psychedelics to breathwork, mindfulness, and neurofeedback, my guests and I will shine a light on the unique capacity that we have to use our conscious mind to evolve individually and collectively as a species. Tune in each week on your favorite podcast player or the Pennington Media YouTube channel for interviews and discussions about holistic healing of trauma and adverse childhood experiences, burnout recovery, and intentional wellness. Serré, thank you so much for joining me on this Conscious Evolution Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here.
Well, it is an honor, and I have to first say thank you, universe, and thank you, Ixel Katz, who is the one who told me that I had to talk to you. You then gave me this out-of-the-world, phenomenal quantum human design reading, and I was like, okay, we got to have a conversation. So thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to have the honor to be able to dive into your energy and to give you that reading, right, to serve you. And also thank you so much to Ixel for recommending me and for shouting me out. That make my heart feel so good.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm going to switch it up a little bit because we're going to talk about your backstory, but just to give people some context, we met through the context of human design, which I'm not even going to try to describe it because for me, it's just too complex. So tell us, just so that we have the container, what is human design and what did you do when you gave me this reading?
Right. That is such a big question. So what is human design? So human design, like the official definition of it, is a synergistic compilation of different ancient systems that come together to give you the blueprint energetically of your life. So this is the Kabbalah, this is the Chinese I Ching, this is the Hindu chakra system, and this is astrology, all mixed together that was channeled by a man named Ra Uru Ha, I think, or Ra. And he channeled forth this information from the voice. And after that, then it just took on this beautiful, it became its thing. And there's so many different offshoots from it that came from it. And so for the quantum human design reading, I am a student of Karen Curry Parker, who was a student of Ra's, and she created what is called quantum human design, which is the evolved state of human design. Not saying that human design is is bad or unevolved or anything like that. But for quantum human design, it is supposed to be the next level. So Ra passed away before he could go into the next level of the gates of the channels to go from awakening and shocking people awake to now helping the awakened individuals be guided through their lives. So Ra's mission was to awake or to shock people onto their right path. And for me, it's like, no, I'm here to guide people. I'm attracting the people who are already awakened like yourself and who need a bit more guidance or confirmation just to know that you are doing the damn thing, and you are. So
well, what I'd love to do is I will show on the screen my human design chart just so that people can get a sense of what comes up, and then you'll see why I'm saying it's so complicated. Like beyond just astrology, you know, the I Ching and all these other things, these influences. But what I felt from getting this reading from you and from talking to Ixel, it was like the first time that she started talking about me as a generator, 5-1 heretical, I don't even know all the words, but she started saying stuff and I was like, dang, that's accurate. Dang, like, yes. You like she and I had just met at Rhythmia doing a plant medicine retreat, and yet she knew so much about me. And that's when I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this. And exactly what you said, for me, when you interpreted my quantum HD chart, it was confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And I think the reason that is important to me is because I am a big thinker, I am a big dreamer, and of course psychedelics help, you know, me blast out of this 3D reality. But a lot of times I would come back, even just from meditation. It doesn't always have to be psychedelics. I could come back from deep meditation and have these insights that other people think I'm crazy for. Yes. And so that starts to make you kind of question. It made me question myself, like, well, am I thinking too big? Is this crazy? Am I out of it? So getting that reading from you, it was like, check, check, check.
Yes, letting you know that your intuition and your guides are guiding you in the exact area that you're supposed to be. And typically when someone as big as you, especially with a big mission and a big purpose, such as yourself, other people are not going to be able to grasp the concept, especially those around you who aren't even awakened or conscious yet. And even those who are awakened and conscious yet, they don't have the same life purpose. No one has the same life purpose, especially not as you. So it's like receiving this reading is supposed to help you to be able to be seen and heard in ways in which people around you won't be able to, because they can't see and feel you. And that actually brings me back to a different, back to the question you asked earlier about what I did to give you the reading, because it's not just quantum human design that I'm doing with these readings.
Yeah.
When I do the readings, I sit inside of your energy for 5 days and I channel forth all the messages from your higher self, from your guides, from your ancestors to say, okay, what is the most important things? What can I say? What can I say? What do you want her to know now? What can she discover later? And mixed in with my understanding of quantum human design and other systems that I put into the quantum human design reading, and to bring forth that. So you saying, oh my gosh, this was just confirmation after confirmation, it just makes my heart, it makes me want to cry, because it took a lot of effort, a lot of work. And I'm so glad that it was able to reach you and resonate with you, because that's exactly what it's supposed to do.
Well, it did that in spades. So it's good that you're telling me all of this, because now knowing that you are a 3-time attuned Reiki master, you're certified in chakra and crystal healing, light language, and you're a soul song channeler, like now I'm understanding how all of this stuff comes in. And it was only after I started following you on Instagram that I found out that you also are a tarot reader. So I'm like, okay, you've got like wisdom upon wisdom upon wisdom, and then you yourself are bringing your gifts through as this channeler, as this interpreter. It's really profound.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that and being seen.
So how did you find human design in the first place? What led you to that?
It is such a crazy story. So I had a friend and we had reconnected after a while. I had moved back from Utah. I had a very tumultuous time in Utah. And I moved back to my home state of Nevada. I live in Las Vegas. And I moved back home and she reached out to me. And it took a while for me to finally get the courage to be able to be around people again, because it was such a bad experience in Utah. And when I met up with her, we clicked instantly. And it just so happened she met someone who had a book, and it was Karen Curry Parker's book saying Understanding Human Design. And she brought it to me. Now, mind you, right before she brought this to me, I was already on a spiritual awakening. I was already trying to anchor myself in. I was letting go of my religious roots. I was embracing myself and allowing myself to follow my empathic nature and my intuitive nature without thinking that I'm gonna, burn. So I was following it and it was going really well. And then I was like, okay, so what's my next step? What's the next step, you guys? And then she brought this book. When she brought this book to me, it blew my mind, because next thing I know, I looked at this book and the world stopped for a moment. No exaggeration. It stopped for a moment and I zoomed in on the book and I started to cry, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. And she was like, oh, I just thought you might think this is something that's interesting, right? She brought the book to me. I think it was December the 5th. December 10th, I was enrolled in my first level of quantum human design. And then, of course, I'm already there's 4 levels. I finished them all. I blazed through them all. And it was because I was finally able to find the language that my guides were channeling through me that I couldn't articulate. And quantum human design gave me the language for me to be able to express the big downloads of information that I received every time I came across a person, every time I gave a reading to someone, like a tarot reading or just a channeled message to someone. Whenever I touch someone, whenever someone's in my energy, I receive so much information. But if I don't have the language or the codes necessary to articulate it, it's just going to stay trapped inside. And that's what was happening. And it was so frustrating until I was able to find the language from quantum human design. So that's how I found it.
That is so dope. Oh, wow. I love that. And it's interesting because for many of us who are empaths, who tune into other people's energies, it can be overwhelming. Also what we feel. Do you ever feel stuff? Or is it a sensing and a knowing, or do you feel other people's stuff?
So yeah, it is intense. So for me, my 2 major gifts are clairsentience and claircognizance. So this is just pure knowing and pure feeling. And also in human design, I'm going to segue over to that just for a small moment. I have an open G center. And that means that I have, there's defined and undefined G centers. And for me, since mine is undefined, I'm able to take on the personality, take on the identity of other people around me. And so it allows me to be empathic in that nature, as well as other areas in which to be empathic. So it's pretty overwhelming, because other people on a very deep and intimate level, sometimes deeper than they themselves will ever venture.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what my G center is, but I get what you're saying. Like, that resonates for me. So let's explore, just to give the audience some sort of a flavor. I'd love it if you can share with us the 4, or actually 5 different types that come up in quantum human design, just so that we have a flavor, and then we'll veer off from there.
Yeah, for sure. So there's 5 different energetic types, right? So the first one that we can talk about is the projector. The projector is an energetic type that is designed here to be the guides. And everyone can be a guide. So I just want to make sure that everyone can be anything that they are in alignment with. However, there are certain things or certain codes embedded within each energetic blueprint that allows them to excel effortlessly at certain things, right? So for the projector is here to teach us how a new way of living. They are they're the newest energetic type. came into existence around the 1700s area time. And their energetic type is the type that is not here to work in the way in which we have taught the world to work. So the 9 to 5, the grind, the hustle, the get it out the mud, the grinding culture, they will burn out, and they will burn out badly if they try to adopt that way of life, because they're not here to live in that type of way or to exist in that way. The projectors are the individuals who are the guides who anchor down new insights, new codes, and new ways of being into our 3D, into our atmosphere, into our auric field here on Earth. They are the ones who bring in the new ideas, the new way of being, the new way of thinking. And then that goes over to the next group. The manifestors are the individuals who are the people who we typically, as a collective, say that we want to manifest as, because they have a way of having a spark of inspiration from source, from God, whatever your higher source is, and being able to utilize it and act on it without needing to wait for something to respond to, without needing to wait for an invitation or anything like that. However, they also don't have this, they are not built to be able to work in the same way in which the world is currently operating. They have the ability to start things up, to spark, to be the fire starter, and to set the tone for the rest of us. Next is the generators. The generators are the backbones of society. These are the individuals who have a purpose, or they have a passion, and they are here to build out that passion, to anchor it here. So where the projectors are the ones who have the ideas, and they're bringing the ideas from the astral realm here to anchor into our 3D reality. It's the generators, the generator types that have the energy, the stamina, the passion, the damn audacity to actually make that idea something real, something tangible, something that you can touch, taste, feel with your entire embodied essence. They are the ones who need to have their passion projects, because the passion is what allows them to be able to keep going day in and day out. They are the individuals who show us what it means to be dedicated, to persevere, to be committed to a task. Then there's the manifesting generators. These are the individuals who are a hybrid, that's what I am, of the manifestors and the generators. So the manifesting generator's job is to be able to find the quickest, most efficient way to do something. So we are the ones who get that spark, but we are still the generators. So we have to wait for something to respond to, so that we can then quickly find a way to make it happen. But we rely heavily on our generator cousins. Okay, what's up, girl? And then the last is the reflectors. The reflectors are the rarest type out of all the human design types. The reflectors are the individuals who are here to be the barometers. They are the calibrators of the world. They are here to feel into the communities in which they are placed within, so that they can determine whether or not it's in alignment with the blueprint of, I want to say, like, and I feel nervous saying this, but I'm just going to say it. They're literally letting us know if we're in alignment with the earth or not. They're letting us know if we're in alignment with the cosmos or not. And they feel everything and everyone on a deep level, because they have all of their centers open. And so when you have open centers, that means you take in energy and you amplify it. So the reflectors are here to be the individuals to let us know if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing or not, because they can feel it. So you always should have, or I would say that having a reflector as a friend, as a family member, is an extreme privilege. So those are the energetic types.
Wow. Thank you for that. I don't know if I have any reflectors in my world. I need to get everyone like typed. Is she?
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes. Okay. There's at least one. So I want everyone to get typed, if I can say that. Visit astralflame.com and see if you can book yourself a session. So wait, there's one other thing I want to talk about within human design, because you said this a few times about responding. There's a way that each type has to respond to things. And I think this was the biggest piece that came as not so much a surprise, but it guided me. So for example, I get a lot of downloads in meditation in nature and certainly with psychedelic medicines. And I will get a vision. I will see things clearly, like in a full movie. I will even feel how it will feel to be doing that thing. And then, so I almost would have thought I would be a manifester. Like I get the idea and then I'm able to put them into 3D reality. But the thing that was interesting about human design is that there's a different way that each of us responds either to that inspiration or to someone coming and saying, hey, you want to be on this podcast, or hey, you should write a book. Like each of us has to process that in a different way. So can you just explain what you mean in quantum human design about how we respond?
Yes. So each type has what's called a strategy. Now, the strategy is to ensure that you are in and stay in alignment with the people, places, and things that are meant for you, because what's meant for you is meant for you. Now, this is to ensure that you are utilizing your energy in a way that will allow you to accomplish what you're here to accomplish without any obstacles, or with the least amount of obstacles and drawbacks as possible. So, for example, as a generator type, so both the manifesting generators and generators have the ability to respond. And with this responsive nature, it comes from their sacral center being defined. So there's only, if you have a defined sacral center, you're either a manifesting generator or you're a generator. Okay. And all the other types do not have this, and it allows you to be able to have a lot of, it's a lot of energy for one, and also, but it's sustainable. So this is the majority of the population are generators. It's over 50% of the world are generators. And that's why we have that 9 to 5, that hustle culture, that pushing, that working and grinding type of culture, because that's what we do. However, to ensure that you're not toiling away at someone else's dream and building someone else's framework, and then it doesn't benefit you, there are certain strategies that each type or energetic type has to get into alignment with until they are ready to trust themselves and stay and be in complete alignment with their energetic flow, that will keep them from burning out and utilizing their energy in ways that aren't in alignment or won't fulfill or be productive for them. So let's start with your type. Generators have to respond to things. Now, depending upon the authority. Now, the authority is the additional flavor or layering to your strategy, because the authority it's like the GPS. It allows you to know how in which you're supposed to be utilizing your strategy. So for generators, you have to respond. You have to have something to respond to. So waiting to respond is the thing. So waiting to respond, what is that? So that means with someone like you, I believe you have an undefined or open head center. So of course you're receiving so much inspiration and downloads and intuitive insights. But the reason why this is happening is because you're picking up on everything from everyone and everything around you. So when that is happening, that gives you an incredible way of viewing the world, a very big, broad perspective. But it also makes it very confusing to know which ones are yours and which ideas are for other people. So in order for you to know, that's when you have the ideas, you allow them to permeate throughout your vessel, you feel them, you taste them, you do whatever you need to do, but then you also wait to respond to the things that show up. So for example, if you receive an insight or a download to go and create a book, you want to write a book, and you want to write a book on the topic of psychedelics, you would wait to receive a sign or a response from whatever is in your surroundings. It's literally what we talk about in the spiritual nature of following the signs, paying attention to the signs. The signs can be anything. Normally they show up as a person. So a person will come up to you randomly. You'll be at the store, at the grocery store. Someone will say something and it will hit you. You will feel that burning, or you will feel that inspiration spread. And you're like, there it is. I was just thinking about that. I asked about that. And there it is. And it's so cool because a lot of the times people say, well, I got to wait for something to respond to. Listen, it happens quick. It happens a lot quicker than you think. And you also, it ends up being to where you receive a lot of things to respond to, where you are the one who has to catch up and respond to all those things. So the authority for you, however, is the emotional authority. So you're an emotional generator. So that means when you have something to respond to, you have to wait your emotional cycle. So this means that it is I am an emotional authority as well. And so I am a little biased, but I think it's absolutely amazing because it allows you to be able to know for certain if you are responding to this thing because it's actually something in alignment for you, or if you're responding to this because it's a trigger, or if it's because you're trying to people please, or if it's because you're trying to prove yourself, or if it's an egoic type of, what is the word? If it's a egoic type of drive or desire that you're trying to fulfill. And so if you wait your emotional wave, and this doesn't take long, and of course, it varies for depending on what you're responding to and the individual and what type of emotional authority or emotional wave you have. But you wait the wave. And what this means is you will initially respond. Something will come to you and you take note of how you felt when you received it. Then a couple hours later, the next day, ask yourself again, do I want to respond to this? Do I really want to do this? And see what your body says. See what your feelings tell you, because sometimes it will change. And if it changes, then that means, okay, it's not ready yet. It's not fully ready for you to be able to go out and put your all into, especially as a generator, because if you go into something with fickle nature, fickle emotions, that's exactly how your energetic energy will be in alignment to this thing. So as a generator, we have this ability to have the sustainable, powerful energy that drives us to be able to move forward. What's going to happen if you are responding to something that your emotional authority told you that you're not fully on board with? That means when you're engaged in it, sometimes you will have the energy for it, other times you won't. And then that will cause you to drop the ball, drop promises, break promises, not be able to show up and be your full, amazing, powerful self because you weren't fully ready to accept, or it wasn't for you to accept the thing that you responded to. So the manifesting generators have to have the combination strategy of both the manifester and the generator. So I'm going to talk about the manifestors before I get into the hybrid type. So the manifestors, depending upon their authority, they receive the inspiration and then they act. It's as simple as that. They have to receive and allow themselves to be open enough to channel forth that information that comes through to them, and then they are acting on it. The authority colors the way in which they are able to act on that. Next is the manifesting generator. So the manifesting generators are a hybrid of the generator type, so waiting to respond. Oh, excuse me, I skipped a little bit. So with the manifestors, they respond, yes, but they have to inform first. And this is very interesting. So they have to inform first, and then they are able to act. Why? Because as a manifester, they inform those around them who are going to be impacted. And baby, people will be impacted by what is happening to around the manifester and that ball of explosive energy that they have. So they are going to inform those around them of what's going to happen. They're not asking for your permission. They're not asking to see if you think this is cool or not. They're saying, look, this is what I'm going to do. Either get in alignment or get out the way. It's as simple as that. And then they act. Then it is the manifesting generators. The manifesting generators have to wait to respond, just like the generators. Then they are, when they receive something, then they envision. They envision what it is that's going to be happening. They allow themselves to feel it, taste it, all that stuff, allow themselves to see themselves in that vision. And as they're envisioning themselves in that vision, then when they get something to respond to, then they have to inform. Then they inform those around them, and then they act. This seems like a lot of steps, but as a manifesting generator, we move really quickly, okay? And it's important to make sure that we inform those, that we wait for something to respond to so that we're not spinning around like a puppy chasing its tail. It's important that we envision so that we know what our intentions are. Next, it's important that we inform so that we're not pushing forward full steam and leaving everybody like laying on the ground, like, what is happening? Why did this happen to me? So then next is the projectors. The projectors are very unique because they are here to be guides, and they have this really amazing ability to be able to know what someone needs, to know what they just know, right? And it's because that's their energetic type. They are the guides. And because of this, they know things. They have to wait for recognition or an invitation as their strategy. Why is this? Because nobody likes it when someone comes up to you and tells you what to do without you even, asking, without you even knowing who the heck they are. You're like, who are you to tell me that what I'm doing is the wrong way and you got the right way? Who are you? Where's the Carfax? What's your credentials? Like, let me know what this is. And what it does is it protects the projectors. Everyone's strategy protects you. Every energetic strategy protects the energetic type. So the projectors, strategy to wait for an invitation or recognition protects them from giving up their already limited reserves of energy for like, it's like that saying, don't cast your pearls before swine, or for people who won't reciprocate it or appreciate it. Okay, appreciation and gratitude is huge for the projector because they are giving you the gift of life, honey. Like, it is amazing what they give to you. Next is the reflectors. The reflectors, like I mentioned before, are the individuals who are keeping us in or letting us know when we are and when we aren't in energetic alignment with the earth, with the cosmos. And it's a huge thing. And so they are lunar beings. So their strategy is to wait the entire lunar cycle, so the entire 28 days, in order for them to make big decisions relating to their location, relating to relationships, relating to big purchases, relating to education and career. They need 28 days in order to make a sound, solid decision to know if they would like to make that decision or not, or if that decision is in alignment with them or not. This is important because all of the types have this, because it's so easy to hijack someone's energetic essence to be manipulated and utilized for your own. So as a generator, you are the one who has, and because I know your profile, you are the individual who has a lot of explosive power. You are a revolutionary. You are an individual who's changing the way in which we are looking at whatever cause or whatever thing is on the forefront of your mind. And so, for example, psychedelics, right? Changing the way it's viewed. You are combining, and this is amazing. So I was just looking at your profile the other day, so I'm sorry, but you are combining both the intuitive and the logical to come together to create this beautiful synergistic way in which of looking at psychedelics. Okay. Now, someone who is a seller, who thinks that they can say, wow, I like her platform. I like what she's doing. I like her energy. How can I get on that to be able to push all of the people that she's reaching over to me so that I can make money? Then they'll weasel their way in and they'll sweet talk you and they'll give you these things to respond to. And you can, like, if you are not allowing yourself to adhere to your strategy, you're like, oh my God, I'm being seen, I'm being recognized. Yes, let's do this. This could be a great thing for me. And the whole time it's building them up and building their empire while you are left being the worker, the slave. And that's not what generators are here for. Okay. So then it's the same thing with the projectors. You guys have a way in which to be able to see people and to help them know what they need to do, how they need to do it, and when they need to do it. And if people are coming to you and they're utilizing your energy and your ability to know, then you're left depleted. And this is super important because projectors, manifestors, reflectors have limited amounts of energy and they need to receive support back for what they give. And so if someone is taking all of the life force out of a projector, allowing them to guide them, lead them, and bring them over to the promised land, right, of where they're trying to go, and then they leave them high and dry, what's going to happen? The projector is left there unable to do anything, to get their energy up, to do what they need to do for themselves, to go out and work, to do all that stuff because they poured it all into that individual who left them high and dry. And that could have been avoided had they have listened to their strategy, waiting for recognition or an invitation. Nobody who is going to take all of your energy, or how can I say this? It is like an energetic exchange when it comes to projectors. So that invitation, that recognition is the start of the energetic exchange. It's currency. You are giving them energy, that you are utilizing your throat center to speak to them and say, wow, you are so good at this. You are so talented at this. And I see that you've been working, you've been speaking about this, and I recognize the gift that you have. Can you help me? Can you help me to get to this level? Or the invitation. Oh, that was actually both of them. I gave recognition and an invitation in one. So those are the strategies of all of the energetic types, and also why it's super important for you to adhere to them. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, though, in conjunction with that, is that each energetic type also has an emotional theme. So if you don't follow your strategy, for manifesting generators and manifestors, anger, explosive, out of this world anger. Like, honey, let me tell you, I am, peace, love, and light. But listen, my anger is nasty. Okay. And I understand when I'm feeling this anger, it's because I didn't inform properly. What does this mean? If I didn't inform people that I'm doing X, Y, and Z and they get in my way, they disrupt the flow of energy that's flowing through me. And when I'm stopping to inform somebody or to help someone catch up or to help someone to get out the way or doing something that's other than what my energy is aligned towards, the energy stops flowing out of me and it gets stuck inside of me and it ricochets. That energy is ricocheting, creating anger. This is happening for the generators as well. If a generator doesn't have something to respond to, they're building and building, and they need something to show for it. And so if a generator is building and building and building, and they ain't got nothing to show for it, they're going to feel frustrated. So the theme for generators is frustration. And this is the frustration that can range from, oh my goodness, I'm getting tired of this, to that scream, that crying, like, oh, type of frustration that comes out because it's like, I am doing all this hard work. Where is my fruits? Where is it, honey? So then it goes to the projectors. The projectors, if they are sitting here being the guides, being the one who is leading and giving all their energy to help guide people into the avenues and the streams that they need to be into, and they don't have the support back, or they don't have the recognition, or they don't have the it's just the support back to help uplift them when their energy is depleted, they turn bitter. They have the bitterness emotional theme. And it's rightfully so. Like, why is it that this person is being built up? Why are they growing so much? Why are they doing all of these things? And I'm stuck here. Even though I'm the one who showed them how to do that. What the heck is going on here? Next is the reflectors. So because the reflectors let us know if we are in an energetic alignment or not with the earth and with the cosmos, they see people and they see the potential of what they can be. Now, if the reflector doesn't allow themselves to wait the 25 days and the 28 days for the lunar cycle, and they get too excited to align with something before they gained a clarity type of understanding of it, then they receive disappointment because they looked at something, they saw what it could be, they saw the potential of it, but they didn't allow themselves to come down from that high of excitement to really see what is really going on. So yeah, that was a mouthful.
All right, take a breath. Yes, and take a sip. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Whoa, it's amazing that you have such a command of all of this information. That's what blows me away. I'm Dr. Andrea Pennington, Managing Director for Make Your Mark Global, and I am calling for some new authors for one of our group anthologies called Sacred Medicine. We are calling for authors of all kinds all around the world who have stories to share about psychedelic assisted therapy, psychedelic medicine, sitting in ceremony with Kambo, Bufo, 5-MeO-DMT, ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms, mescaline, peyote, you name it, we want to hear about it. And in particular, we are publishing stories of good and challenging trips because I really want people to understand the breadth and the depth of experiences that can come when sitting with psychedelic medicine. I personally have been helped so much in my own healing journey, and I'm now sitting in ceremony with clients, and I know that people need more information on what is safe, what's not, what's to be expected, and what might catch you off guard. So if this sounds like a book that you want to be a part of, then please click the link in the description or in my bio so that you can share your story or your concept totally free. We at Make Your Mark Global do all of the heavy lifting, the editing, the formatting, getting the book globally distributed on Amazon and other book retailers. And you retain 100% copyright for your story. We are really looking forward to bringing this book out to the world in 2023. So share this video or the link with other people that you know who want to be featured in a book about sacred medicine. I look forward to reading your story. But there's something that I noticed probably 12 years ago about myself. I was going through a different coaching program, and I noticed that sense of frustration that I had a bunch of ideas. I might start on a project and then another shiny object caught my attention. And you said this during my reading that, you know, some of us will just leave a string of unfinished projects behind. And what's interesting is that after that coaching program, like 12 years ago, I learned that I needed to evaluate an incoming request or even an idea to do exactly what you said. Is this coming from my ego? Am I trying to do this project to show the world, yeah, I'm gonna show you? Or is this coming from my heart and my soul in alignment with, and that has helped me a lot. But I feel like just hearing all of this stuff about all the different profiles, what it makes me as a coach and a mentor, especially on the business consulting side, is it makes me want to know more, or at least hire somebody, because I feel like my advice should not be one size fits all.
It cannot be. Exactly.
I need to like tune into, I need to know what their profile is. Now I'm able to do a lot of that intuitively. If it's a one-on-one client, I can get in, I understand where they're coming from, where their hangups are, but I feel like this could be so valuable.
Yes. And that is what's happening right now. So a lot of people are creating coaching programs to teach therapists, to teach different, even like medical practitioners, to teach so many different types of people, teachers. What else was there that I come across? I've come across doctors, teachers, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, teachers. I already said that, but parents as well, relationship advice, all of these different swings and offshoots are coming up because of that. Yeah. And it's so interesting because you also said profile types, because that's another layer of human design. So for example, you're a 5-1 and that's your profile type, 5 line and the first line. And so that the profile teaches you how you learn and interact with the world and how you receive, like the way in which you receive information, or the type of, how can I say this? Impact you're meant to have on the world, right? So there's, I can go into that if you want to. Now we have to. Well,
I think that's getting a little detailed. I would invite folks to get a reading, because I think we'd be here forever. But I want to give us some time to talk about some of your other work. Although, now I'm going to backtrack. Is the 5-1, that's connected to me being a heretical, whatever it is. And you know what I have to say, because I laughed when Ixel told me that, because I was like, that is so true. There are times that I am sharing things, of course, as a physician, when I started out 22 years ago, and I was already blending in Eastern and Western with acupuncture and herbs, like everyone looked at me like I was a heretic. They're like, people, I was in Maryland at the time, and they're like, you need to move to California with those other woo-woo people. And it's like, now here we are 22 years later, and everybody's talking about it.
You're ahead of the curve. And that is like, so we can just talk about your profile here really quickly. So the 5-1, and I use the quantum language for the profiles for this specific reason, because the 5-1 is the resourceful visionary leader. So I actually have been going through and updating all the language and all that stuff for the human design. So I actually have it prepared for you after this this interview. So I'm excited for you to see that. But so it's the resourceful visionary leader. Why? So you have 2 profile lines. The first one for you is the 5th line. The 5th line is a collective energy. So you're an individual who's meant to be in a collective field, meant to impact more as many people as possible. So one-on-one sessions aren't as effective for your energy because you are big, right? So with the 5 line though, this org field you have makes it to where either people love you or they hate you. And it's because when they see you, you are a karmic mirror. So you make people see themselves when they see you. So when someone comes up to you and they love you and they adore you, and of course, this is depending upon, so before I say that, this karmic, this org field that you have, it is very important that you keep this org field as clear as you can, because if you do not, then it makes it even harder to determine if someone is just tripping on you because of your org field or if it's actually because you've projected onto them. Now, let me explain. As a 5th line, you have the responsibility of making sure that your self-worth, your self-love, and your self-awareness is intact. You have to make sure that you are constantly checking your ego, constantly understanding and loving on your shadow and blending it with your light, so that you can be able to bring forth the best you that you can bring, who is completely in balance. So not someone who's toxic positivity, but also not someone down in the dumps, bringing everybody down. So you have to be aware of your shadow and understanding what it is, what it's trying to tell you and why it's there. And also being aware of your light and what it's trying to tell you and where it's trying to get you to go. Why? Because as a 5th line, you are a karmic mirror. So that means people either love you or they hate you. And if you have your auric field clear, then that means people are looking at you and they're seeing themselves. And they either see and love it or they see it and they hate it. So you can say something to them. You can say, the sky is blue. And they will say, why are you saying that? I can clearly see that the sky has a tinge of bluish purple today, and you're trying to tell me that the sky is blue when I'm trying to tell you that it's not that. You're trying to force your ways and your thoughts and all that stuff on me, and I don't like it. I don't like who you are. And then they're going to take it personal. They're going to cut deep, and you're like, bro, all I said was the sky is blue. So what's the problem? This also, because you are talking about psychedelics as well, it will feel like a personal attack on people who look at you and they're not, I want to say not ready. They're not aware of themselves, and they're not aware of their shadows, because what's going to happen is it's going to trigger things inside of them. Why? Because as a 5th line, you have a natural healing aura. You don't have to do anything. So this means when you are in the room, when people are around you, you make them aware of ways in which they can be better. And either they like that or they don't. Either like, I don't need to be better. I'm good as I am. Are you sure? Because we can all be better. Okay. And this is why the 5th line is called the visionary leader, because they are showing us the way in which how we can be better. So for you, you have these powerful energies in your chart. So for example, you have that's getting too deep. So, but, you have this ability to be able to show people in whatever arena you're showing up in how to be better, how to be the highest, most exalted expression of that, because that's what you're pushed to be. And naturally that exudes out of you and into every relationship that you have. This is platonic, familial, and romantic. Everyone around you must have the capacity and the drive to be better, or they will go crazy around you trying to hold on to their ego, their shadows, and their old way of being, because you are energetically pushing them out of the cradle, saying, get it together. You can do better than this. Get up, be your exalted self. Not a lot of people like that. And then a lot of people like that. So that means there is no gray area with you. Either people love you or they hate you. And then it's your 1st line. Your 1st line is this is a foundational line. It's all about the resources. It's about gaining the information necessary to create a foundational, a working, real foundational understanding of things, not the fluff. This makes you go deep in the trenches. So I'm like, I would love to be in your energy when you're meditating and receiving your downloads, because I know that you are not playing around. Okay. Because as a 1st line, you are getting the deep understanding of things. You are asking the questions that people aren't even thinking of and receiving answers for them. So the 1st line gives you that ability to be able to have that working wise spiritual understanding from the fifth, combined with that logical need to know, why is this like this? How was this like this type of information from your first line? So that means you work from constantly embodying and being the best exalted version of yourself, as well as you, and backing that up with information, facts, figures, and the research to be able to combine that. So that's wisdom and intellect combined into one. So that's just some
Boom.
information on just the profile. And so you see, like, the type, the strategy, and the profile, those are just the first three things that you talk about in the reading. We haven't even touched on all the other stuff.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, y'all, visit astralflame.com. Check her out on Instagram as well. What is it? astralflame33 on socials, because yeah, it goes deep. And I just have to say this one last time. You know, here I am at the age of 51. Everything that you've described is like resonating deeply. And yeah, I wish I knew this when I was in my 20s or 30s. Doesn't matter. I am where I am. Yeah. The bottom line is, it just resonates with so much confirmation for me that now when certain things hit, I remember your voice from our recording, and I'm like, no, I don't have to question that. Or, you know, we didn't talk about it. We'll go into this. Maybe we'll have you back for another one. You talked about fear and how there's 3 specific fear types that showed up in my profile. And so now, and you said, look, and they're always going to come. It's not that you're not prepared. It's not that you're this or that. It's like, that's part of your profile. And so that wisdom for me is like, oh, okay, there it is. I see it. I don't have to get tripped up and go into self-doubt, go into all this stuff. Yes, girl. Yes, yes, yes. And that's why I think this is so amazing. I love, love, love what you're doing with all of this. And I love that your whole work is centered around these 3 pillars of self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. That's 3 of the 5 that I put in my book. Yeah. Like, it's awesome. And especially because, as you're talking about, like, you want to help people affirm and embody who they really are, who we came to this planet to be, not being a copycat, not being a people pleaser, but standing in your truth, your power, and your sovereignty. Like, there it is.
Period. And I love that you said that, because that's exactly what it is. Because a lot of us, we feel like we need the permission. And a lot of the times we do, because imagine going your entire life. Like you said, you are 51 and you look damn good. Okay. But you are 51, right? And this entire time when I was looking at your profile, you have received all of the lessons, all of the experiences, all of the information, and the certainty in yourself to be able to embody the life purpose that you are here to embody. My teacher, Karen, says that, so you're in the phase of your Chiron return because you are in your 50s, right? This is the midlife point. And people like to say, and put timetables on ages and dictate whether you're too old or you're too young for something. When I am 28 years old and I am looking at myself and I am a freaking child. I am a baby in comparison to what life is going to give me. I only hit one of my major life milestones to allow me to be in alignment with myself. Okay. So you're hitting your Chiron return. You still have 3 more to go. Okay. You still have 3 more major life cycles to go. You are just getting started. You are getting in alignment. You gain all of the information that you needed. And now you are, like, I hate to say it this way, but I have to say it this way. Now you're an adult. Now you're an adult. And people are talking about elder and being old and all this stuff, baby. What? You are now an adult now. You have just come out of your young adult phase, which is the 40s and the 30s time, and entering into your adult phase. Why am I saying this? Because you don't get your first shaking up and get your butt in alignment type of astrological hit until you turn about 28 to 32. Okay. That's when you finally get an understanding of Do I like this? No. What do I want to do? I don't know. Then next thing you know, you're going to your Uranus opposition in your 40s. Then you're going from your Uranus opposition over to your Chiron return. Then after your Chiron return, it's your second Saturn return. And then you have all these other things that are happening for you to allow you to be in alignment, to ask you, are you sure you want to do this as your life purpose? Are you sure you're willing to put all in, even if you fail? Are you sure that this is what you love and that you want to do and that this is the impact you want to have on this world? Because every single person, and I want everyone to hear me, there is not a single person who is not brilliant and magnificent and a once in a lifetime event, like my teacher likes to say. You just have to allow yourself to say, you know what? This is how I work, and to stop allowing society to tell you how you're supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it, and the way in which you're supposed to do it. We're all supposed to be a collective. But in order for us to be a collective, we have to be individuals first. Because if you don't, then you just get a mass clump of cells not knowing what the heck they're doing. Everybody has a job, and everybody needs to do their job for the other person to be able to make sure that their position, their purpose is exalted. This is not a hierarchy like we've been taught. It's a heterarchy. We are all standing side by side, doing the work with one another to make sure that we are lifting up the consciousness of this world. And we are all born at this time on purpose. So I need you and you need me, and I love you. And I hope you love me too, so that we can make sure that we get this stuff done, because it's do or die.
Aho. Ashe. Thank you. Girl, you need to preach. All right now. Taking me back. So, I don't even know what life would be like being around you if you were on psychedelics, you know, or if both of us were in the same space on psychedelics at the same time. You know, maybe we have to make that happen. Some magic mushrooms at one of our events where it is legal. So you've hinted on psychedelics, and you also, when you first saw that book, you said that time stood still and that you wanted to cry. Had you taken some magic mushrooms or something at that point?
I haven't. And this is what's so cool. So my friend, actually, she's an old friend, but she would say, Serré, you are like magic mushrooms. So when we get into ceremony and do all that stuff together, I only have experience with hape. So hape is a different form of,
tobacco.
Yes, of plant medicine, and it knocked me on my butt. I'm very sensitive, and it obviously, in order to do the work that I do. And so I'm like, I would love to go into ceremony with you because I would trust you wholeheartedly, but I do not trust anyone because I'm incredibly sensitive, and I already channel, so I channel the dead, I channel spirit guides, I channel all this stuff. And so I want to make sure that I'm in a trusted container to be able to be let loose and actually have an experience of a wonderful trip. Right. Yes. So I would love to do that. But my only experience is with hape. And I'm just like, whenever I hear you talk and watch your stuff on Instagram, I'm like, I really want to experience that, but I'm terrified. So
yeah, well, I mean, that is your wisdom and your discernment is on point, because you certainly want to be in the proper set and setting, safety, and being around people that you can let your guards down and let yourself be. And for me, I've tapped into so many amazing energies. And you know what's interesting? I'll just say this to give back to you after you've given us so much. The one thing I would also say is, yes, definitely make sure that the setting that you take the medicine aligns with you. And you already know how to do that for yourself to make sure it's a yes on all of the levels. But also, be really inquisitive about the species if you were going to do a psilocybe mushroom, if you're going to do magic mushrooms, because each species has its own energy and flavor and spirit. Ooh. And you as a channeler would probably be able to tune in. Of course, there's tons of information on the internet about all of these, and I will direct you to watch the episode of Conscious Evolution that I did with Sky Ra, where he talked about his journey with a shroom I had never heard of called Enigma. completely different experience than what you might experience with golden teachers or white albino penis envy. Like there's all these different ones. So that's important. The species, as well as the dosing, like how much are you taking? Because 1 gram of golden teacher is not the same as 1 gram of PE, for example. But then the other thing I will say to you is this. The first time I sat in ayahuasca, I was terrified of what I might see because like you, I'm already like, I'm tuned into other dimensions since I was a kid. So I'm like, grandmother ayahuasca, please don't show me nothing scary. I was like, please, don't make me freak out in front of these people.
Right.
But I had a really beautiful experience. And if you've already been doing a lot of your own work, you've faced your shadow. You're not going to be necessarily surprised at your own stuff. Like you might be surprised if you are tuning into other ancestors. But the other thing I would say is also just trusting your spirit and your sovereignty, because who you came in this incarnation to be is a sovereign being. And you have sovereignty over your energies, your auric field. And so when you're engaging, you will carry that with you. Even though you're letting down ego defenses, you're not letting go of spiritual defenses. So.
Oh my gosh, thank you for that. No, seriously, I really had that idea in my head, and that it seems so silly now when I say it out loud, but that was always my fear because I tried to be very robust in my defenses spiritually. And whenever I think about letting down my guards with my ego and my shadow, I don't know why simultaneously it's like they all come down and I'm like, okay, now I'm open and I have to be careful of the attacks and of other people's egos and shadows and whatever things people are projecting. I don't know why I did not think or connect that. Thank you so much.
You can set that. You set the intention and you set the boundaries, because we as spiritual beings came to this planet. This is our space and our rules. Yeah, you might live in a particular country that's trying to dictate what you can do, but as a spiritual sovereign being, you say, my space, my rules. So even if you were just going to speak at an event where you're going to be in front of 1,000 people and they've all got their energies, you can still say, my space, my rules. I'm not allowing things to penetrate. And I had to learn that the hard way. One of my dear friends, may she rest in peace, she guided me and taught me about having these protections, so that even if you're not necessarily aware of what's going around you, you can it's like setting a perimeter on your property that's invisible, and you set that intention and you declare that it will not be penetrated and you will bounce off whatever other entities are coming in. Like, you have that authority.
Oh my gosh, that makes me want to cry. That is so true. And it's like, how did I not? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we'll let that sink in, and then we're going to invite you to lead a meditation if you still have the energy. We only have a few minutes left.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, y'all, this has been so full.
Yes.
And so rich. Like, maybe it's all just been for me. If it has, thank you. I will take all of the edification and I'll pay it forward. Really, really beautiful, and so excited to direct people your way and to share space with you, Serré. And yes, look out for the invitation to one of our events. You can either come over to Europe, or when we're doing it in Central America or Mexico, I will let you know.
To travel, that would be so cool. It would get me to get out of my hermit type of vibes. Mm-hmm. But yeah. All right. So I'm going to.
So we just have 10 minutes.
10 minutes? That's all we need.
Literally going live on another platform. So.
Okay. So we're going to do this really quickly, manifesting generator style. All right. First, we're going to create our invocation for protection and barrier setting. So I'm going to do a guided meditation for all those across time, space, listening to this recording in this moment, to be able to tap into this space and container that I'm going to be creating as a pocket in time, to be able to allow you to see yourself and glimpse the power the majesty, the love, and the aura that you have to give, and to receive any quick downloads of information, and then bring you back down to your body here on Earth. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Take a deep breath in, extending your belly. Release. Continue to breathe and being consciously aware of the rise and fall of your chest or your stomach, however which way you breathe. Continue to breathe as I create the container in the space for us, using my own invocation. Beginning now. Dear Source, dear our higher selves of all souls joining in this now, here and later, please allow us to be connected, to allow us to be able to receive. Dear our bodies, dear our major organs, dear the cells, the mitochondria within our cells, down to the quantum particles, activate and awaken and join us here and now. Dear Mother Gaia, dear Earth, allow me to anchor us all firmly to the 5T crystalline grid to ensure that we are grounded and safe and protected. Dear the spirit guides of all the souls who will join us in this recording across all time and space, please join your chosen vessels, your chosen souls, to ensure that they receive the messages that you have been waiting and yearning to give them. In this here and now, we're going to begin by focusing our attention to the perineum. This is the area located between your genitals and the anal opening. Focus your mind's eye straight there to your root center, your root chakra. Focus on that root chakra. Now, release all lower vibrational energies and entities here in this now. Dear all of our higher selves, assist in this releasing. Allow the vessel, the individual, the soul to be able to receive and relax and release. Immediately replace the released space with the true essence of the individual. Fill them, fill the void, fill the space indiscriminately to the brim of their true essence in their root center. Moving up to the sacral center, the area located between your hip bones. Release all lower vibrational energies and entities in this here and now. Replace indiscriminately to the capacity with the individual's true essence, love, light, high vibrational goodness. Moving up to the solar plexus located below your belly button. Release lower vibrational energies and entities and fill immediately with higher vibrational energies of your true essence. Moving up to the heart space located in your chest. Release all lower vibrational energies and entities and beings inhabiting this space and fill it immediately with your true essence. Our higher selves, fill it to the brim, to capacity. Allow the energy to move through your bodies as we move up to the throat center. This can be in the middle of your throat or at the base of your throat. Dear souls, release all energies, lower vibrational, in the throat center, in the throat chakra. Immediately replace them with your true essence. You may do any releasing, burping, farting, anything that will allow your body to release. Allow it to happen naturally as the energy fills up your vessel, moving up to the third eye located in between your brow bones. Release the energy indiscriminately. Release the energy and fill it immediately with your true essence. Breathe. Moving up to the crown center. Allow the energy to be released and filled immediately with your true essence. Sit here for a moment. Feel the energy. Feel the energy. Now, we're going to connect you. Allow the energy to burst forth from your crown center to touch the chakra located right above your head, your soul star chakra, your portal. Connect. Bring forth the energy going from your root all the way to the crown to burst forward up to your soul star chakra. For some individuals, this energy will go straight up into the cosmos. For others, it will come straight up to your soul star chakra and rain down over you. In this moment, allow yourself to receive the connection and any and all messages that come forth for you. And I will assist with soul song and light language. Breathe. Oh, siamoshe, isia, isiamoko samoshe. Breathe. Receive. Ishiamoko se, isiamo. He. He. Dear souls, we're going to be coming back to our bodies, bringing down the energy from our soul star chakras, back into our crown centers. Allow yourself to feel your toes a little bit, bringing this energy down. Thank you to the crown. Thank you to the third eye. Thank you to the throat center. Thank you to the heart center. Thank you to the solar plexus center. Thank you to the sacral center. Thank you to the root center. Bringing your souls firmly back down into your bodies. Breathe. Move your shoulders back. Move your feet. Become aware of your body. As I begin to release our connection, dear source, dear our higher selves, dear our spirit guides, thank you so very much for allowing us to be connected in this here and now for the short amount of time. Thank you for the messages and the love that was sent to each and every soul who received it. Thank you so very much. We're so very grateful. Disconnecting white flame. Releasing connection between all of us. Releasing white flame over each and every soul. Allow them to be cleansed, purified, and protected from this connection. And for the rest of this day, I love you. I love me.
I love you. I love me. Oh, sanana mokorva shindala. Thank you so very much for that beautiful sprinkling of light and love and energy. Thank you, Serré. Thank you.
Thank you.
What an honor. What a gift.
Thank you so much. Ooh, now it's time for me to go get a snack.
Right? All right. I have so much gratitude for you. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy and your love with us, with this community, and with the world at large. Sending you many blessings for your continued success and your journey. Like, if this is her before 30, like, watch out, y'all. Like, what the...
Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for recognizing me. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for allowing me to serve you and for allowing me to be my fullness without having to stifle it or hide it. Thank you so very much.
Yes. What a blessing. Until we meet again, and yes, I know we will meet again.
Yes, indeed.
I thank you. I thank you for you being a gift to the world. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into the Conscious Evolution podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a review and rating on your favorite podcast player. This helps us get the content out to a larger audience. And to watch the video version of the podcast, visit the Pennington Media YouTube channel. Want more info on how psychedelics may improve your mental well-being, how to choose a retreat, or what to look for in a shaman? Get on the Psychedelic Curious email journal. The link is in the show notes and on my website, andreapennington.com. You can also sign up for my free masterclass series, where each month I take a deep dive into a topic in holistic healing, trauma recovery, self-love, resilience, and psychedelic-assisted therapy.